Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. It's me again, Chelsea, and if you haven't heard this enough by now, welcome to another Vita 2 video. So this video is a lot more positive. To be fair, I don't think I've had any negative videos this year, but this video is definitely a positive one. It is talking about my favourite books of 2023 so far, and so far I have 3 5-stars that I have read this year. One of them is indie and 2 of them are traditionally published, so we'll do the indie one first. The first one is this one, which is Along the Razor's Edge by Rob J. Hayes. This is thankfully not a very long book, but it is, I think it's like a 5-book series, and in this book we're following our main character Eska. Now I've spoken about this book before and I really enjoyed how Eska was written as a character. She's morally grey, she is currently imprisoned in some like mine thing and it's very rough down there, and she is just a teenage girl. Well, she's not just a teenage girl, she's obviously in prison for a reason, but she as a character, she is a teenage girl, so a lot of the things that are going through her head and that she's talking about are pretty similar with teenage girls that are around her age. From my personal experience, like, I found it quite relatable. Other people might not, but I certainly did, and I really enjoyed how she was portrayed. This book just gives a really good outline as to where we want to go with the story. I think we meet some very cool characters, and we're introduced to kind of a portion of the world, which is obviously the mines, which is all underground. This is a story, like, this is kind of like a quest story, I suppose. They have a goal, that's what they're trying to do. It's very interesting. There are some dark things that are spoken about. I don't think there's any trigger warnings, but always look them up just in case, because I could be wrong. But yeah, overall I really enjoyed it. I am really looking forward to carrying on with this series. I just haven't managed to get to it yet, but it is a series that I 100% want to carry on. Now the next 2 are traditionally published. The first one is The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, and I purely think this was a 5-star because I love the film so much, but I really enjoyed the book. The book was, to me, pretty much spot on for the film. I could picture it all, including the songs that they mention and the characters in this book. If you don't know what Hitchhikers is, the first book anyways is following a lovely gentleman called Arthur Dent, and unfortunately the earth is about to explode, and essentially we go through this story with Arthur as he is whisked off the planet, and he is told to never forget your towel, because that is what you need to bring in Hitchhikers whenever you are travelling. And we learn all of these weird and wonderful things about the universe. There are so many species. We go to quite a few places in this book. We have, again, another quest element to the fact that they are searching, or at least some of the characters are searching for something in particular, and Arthur just kind of goes along for the ride. For me, it was pretty good. Again, I loved this film growing up, and I just never got around to reading the books. I'm very intrigued to see where the rest of the books are going. The humour for me is perfect, but it might not be to everyone's taste. It is quite misogynistic, I will say, but again, the humour and I think the nostalgia of it for me is what I absolutely enjoyed. I've got no idea where the rest of the story is going to go, because to me the film is pretty much packed and parcelled up and ready to go as one thing, but there are, I don't even know how many more books, like 4 or 5 maybe, I'm not sure, and they're all quite small, so I'm hoping to carry on with this series, but I just don't know when, and that is my theme for a lot of books, if I'm honest. And then my final 5-star for this year is none other than Jade War by Fonda Lee. So this is the second book in the Greenbone saga, and there are 3 books in this series. The second one is the one that I gave a 5-star to. The first one I did think would be a 5-star, but if you didn't know, I host a read-along club with Lisa. It's linked down below. It's all about fantasy. Check it out if you want to. We are currently reading The Look of a King by Tom Dumbrell. But enough self-promotion. When I read this series and when I read the first book, I actually didn't finish the first book in time for the live show. So Lisa had to tell me what happened in the second half of the book, which then inspired me to carry on reading it, and I really enjoyed it. So I think if I didn't know what was going to happen, I would have given that 5 stars. I gave this one 5 stars because this is the very probably not the very first, but it's the first book I've read in a very long time that does not suffer from middle book syndrome. I thought this was the best. I loved the pacing in this. I loved where the story goes and where the characters go. I thought it was really, really intriguing. I love Fonda Lee's writing. I really, really enjoyed where she went with this and the characters and how it ended. I love that her books are very good at cliffhangers, especially the first two, but I also love that the third book she wraps up very, very well, and yeah, I thought it was really, really good, and I really loved this one. So I think this is probably my shortest video so far this month, quite possibly. I just wanted to show off my 5 stars, and I didn't really want it to be like a really long video, especially because there's only 3 books for me to film. There's only 3 books for me to show you guys, and I obviously don't want to bore you to tears, and I don't want to give spoilers away. So that is, I don't know, a short and snappy way of saying my 5 stars. I'm hoping that by the end of the year I will have some more to show you so I can film that, but if I don't, I've got 3 5 stars. I won't be talking about these 3 at the end of the year now that I've done them here, so I will probably mention at the end of the year or at the start of next year. I don't really know where that content's going, that I've already mentioned them and to come check out these videos. But that is everything for today's video. I hope you have enjoyed it. If you have, please give it a thumbs up. Really supports me on my channel. Leave me a comment down below of your favourite book of the year so far. I think overall my favourite book of the year so far would be Jade War, but we'll see where we end up at the end of the year. I'm very excited to see what else I read and what else I can rate and love and give 5 stars to, because at the end of the day, aren't we all just searching for 5-star reads? That's what we do. We love reading. We want to read books that we're loving. That's the whole point. If you just want to leave me an emoji, leave me any starry emojis for the 5 stars. And if you want to see more of me, please consider subscribing down below and ring that notification bell so you get notified every single time I upload new videos. I'm trying to upload I am uploading every single day in the month of August, so be sure to come back tomorrow for another video. But otherwise, that's everything for today's video. I hope you're having an amazing day, and I will see you tomorrow for another one. Bye.